to part two. Okay, so part one, we just briefly look at the interface, saw what we can achieve with at least understand rows and columns, what a cell is, what a range is, and when you say something is in cell, on cell, the formula bar, the name box, the scroll bar, the worksheets, what a workbook is, and all of that. We even looked at the menus we have in Excel, right? Now let us just briefly talk about each of these menus and what they contain. Okay, the first is the file menu. Now, under this file menu, we have options or things you can do with Excel. You can bring in a new workbook, a blank workbook. You can search for templates online. A lot of people do not even know these templates. A lot of people do not even use this template. And just imagine a lot of things you can use or you can call up in Excel. Let's take, for instance, budget, right? I want to create a budget or a plan or a tracker. So I click on plan and tracker, or even type it in that search box. And then it automatically search through thousands and millions of templates we have online, okay, on the internet of things. It searches and it brings out things or templates that we can actually use, right? So you can just click on any template that maybe speaks to what you're looking for. It could be a group trip planner. It could be for volunteer assignment. It could be a wedding planner. It could be an invoice tracker. You understand? So let me just click on the invoice tracker so that you can see what it looks like. Then it brings up like a preview of what you are to expect when you click on create. So it's loading. I think it's the network, and once it loads completely, you can click on create. Okay, so let's not go into it because number one, the network is really poor, and number two, it's going to take a whole lot of time. But at least we understand that in Excel, it's not just creating sheets from the scratch. You can actually use templates to create different kind of worksheets. Okay, that's for new, right? Open, you can use open to bring in worksheets. So when you want to open your Microsoft Excel, is either you go to your search bar in your desktop and type Excel, right, for it to open. And once you do that, you can now come to your open, navigate to your desktop and bring in the file that you want to make use of. That's one way to bring in an Excel file into Excel to work with it. So one thing you should also have at the back of your mind that with Excel, you can do one things in different million ways. Let's say, okay, let me not say million. Let me say 2, 3 ways, 4 ways. Okay, so this is one way of bringing in data into your Excel, right? The other is to just go directly from your desktop. You can just go directly to your desktop, and when you see an Excel, let me see if I can see something. When you see an Excel something, you can just click on it, right, and automatically it brings it in. You can come to your modified items or recently used files and bring it in. You can also bring it in from your what they call it, directly from your your data, right? You can just come here, you can click on data file, and you can bring in your Excel workbook or whatever that you need. So this is, I'm not supposed to be telling you this, okay, but this is just it. It's interesting. All right, so that's for file. You can save as. If it's a new workbook, you can save as. You can do save if you've already saved it initially, so you can just save as you work with it. You can print, you can share, you can export, you can publish to Power BI. Very important. This one's another sweet baby of mine. Okay, you can publish to Power BI. You can close, you can go to your account, you can go to more, you see feedback, you see options. Options are a very good place we are going to discuss intensively in class when you come to class. Okay, then under the home tab, we have the clipboard where you can paste, you can copy and paste, you can format. You have the font menu where you can change your font styles. You can look at your numberings, your font number. You can do that. You can create borders, you can paint, you can change the font color. You also have alignment where you can, if you want something to be in the middle, right? You have like a range of items or entries. You want it to be in the middle, you want it to align to the left hand side or to the right hand side. This is where you can do all of that. If you want, for example, now we have these large entries, right? Now it overflows into GHI, column GHI, this intersection between rows and columns. It looks like it is written in each of these cells, which is not the case, right? What you're seeing here is just in G2, right? However, it looks like it's into GHIJ, right? So if you want to merge cells so that it can actually be in GHIJ, and GHIJ now becomes one single cell, it's no longer four cells but one cell, you can do what they call merge, right? You can merge it. So once you've merged it, you can see we only have G2, we do not have G2, H2, I2, J2. Okay, so that's another thing. You can wrap text, right? So wrap text means maybe it's long, the size, the width is long, so you can actually, oh my god, I just hit. Okay, so you can actually hide what they call it, you can actually wrap text. Sorry about that. Okay, so that is that. On the number, you can do like a conditional formatting of numbers, turn it to accounts, have commas, take out decimal places, do custom, data and all of that. There's conditional formatting, very good for data analysis. We're going to discuss that in depth in class. Format as table, discussing that also in depth. How to insert, delete, format cells. We'll do all of this in class in depth. Okay, sort, filter, very important. If you want to if you are going to be cleaning data, manipulating data, getting insights from data, you're going to be using all of that. All right, we also have the insert menu. The insert menu, you have pivot table, recommended pivot table, you have tables, illustrations, you can bring in more add-ins. I'll explain all of that in class. We can do recommended charts. So let's take, for instance, this is what we have, the information we have, and I said I want to see this in like a bar chart, right? Let me just see what all of them have. So you can see automatically it's telling me that Yusuf is the highest in age, right? This is a plot of age differences between all these people. So you can see automatically that Yusuf, who is a male, you understand, has the highest age of 40, right? Dayo has. So important thing is, as it changes, right, as this information changes, it also changes. That's one sweet thing, right? As it changes automatically, it changes, right? So that is one beautiful thing about Excel charts, right? So as we were saying, we have maps, we understand, we have pivot charts. I will explain this one in depth also in class. I do not want to talk about it here. I just want to ensure that when you look at Excel, it doesn't look strange, right? You look at it and you're familiar with the interface, because I always like to preach to my students that once you're familiar and comfortable with the interface of any kind of software, you can be able to roll with it. You can make it your baby. You can just talk to it and it's going to do what? It's going to respond to you. It's going to do whatsoever you want as far as you are comfortable. That's why at the beginning of the class I say take away fear. Take away fear, okay? You can use the software and you can master it. As far as you understand the interface, you know what you want to get out of it, and you are comfortable with it, okay? You'll be able to use it. So we'll go to spark lines, we'll go to slicer and timeline. All of this will be explained in depth in class. Page layout, all these ones is used especially when you want to print your workbook, okay? So there must be sometimes you have to make some presentations and then share handouts to your management staff, so that as you are presenting with your what they call it now, what's it called, when you're making your presentation, you can also hand them the sheet that you have printed out, so that they can be going through it and be ticking off things that they want to ask you. So all those things, you would also look into it briefly in class. Formulas, a lot of formulas used in Excel. There are those that are specifically for data analysis. There are some that are specifically for financial analysis. all these things. There's data and time, very important, because you'll always be making use of or analyzing data or information using time, date differences, and all of that. There is lookup formulas, there is mathematical formulas, a lot of things you can do, a lot of wonderful, beautiful things you can do with Excel, right? Name manager, all these things, you also use it when you're now creating table. Remember I said this is a range of cells, right? Now this is not a table in Excel. A table in Excel is much more structured, right, than a range. And with a table, it's more organized. You can create insight and do quite a number of things with a table in Excel. I will explain that also in class. Also in class, we're also going to be looking at referencing, right? Excel reference. We're going to be looking at absolute referencing, relative referencing, um, and mixed referencing in Excel. Okay. Quite a number of things in under data. We can get data from get and transform. We can also do, okay, we look into Power Query when we get to the advanced. Okay, I don't think I'll be teaching advanced Excel for your sets, because we'll talk about that. Okay, so we're looking into Power Query, queries and connections, how to do text to columns, how to do data validation, how to do what if scenarios, forecasts, wonderful, beautiful things you can do with Excel, how to protect your worksheet, how to lock your sheet. So imagine you are working in a financial industry, or in fact, let's say you are working in the finance department, or you are doing payroll, for instance, and you want to share a sheet where you have people's numbers. You have to protect your worksheet, you have to lock it up, right? So that somebody cannot just go there and edit or change a figure, right? You need to be able to know how to protect your worksheet. All of that will be taken in class, right? View also, this one helps you, to put things in order. Help, you can come here to the community, ask questions, go ask on Microsoft, very wonderful platform. You can ask and learn quite a number of things. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the spreadsheets.